This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so let's start this session. Thank you all for joining this particular session on SAP Product Costing. So what are we going to do in this particular session is we will understand what exactly is SAP Product Costing, why is it required, and what exactly you need to do in order to set up the product costing in SAP S/4HANA system, and then how can you carry out the cost of the product using the costing run. Okay, this is a topic which comes under SAP controlling. Okay, in SAP there is a module called as SAP controlling. So within controlling, product costing is one of the most important topic, together with another important topic, that is COPA. So maybe sometime later we will have the webinar on COPA also, but today we are going to focus only on the product costing. Okay, so what exactly is product costing? When we say product costing, as the name itself tells, it is nothing but to calculate the cost of product. Okay, what is a product here? So product can be anything. Let's say you are working in a manufacturing company, and this manufacturing company has multiple products. So in this particular example that I'm going to demonstrate today, I took the example of the bike manufacturing company. So you can see this is a practical example where there is a company which is into manufacturing of bikes. Now in this particular company, they want to know what would be my cost of the product. Okay, why they need the cost of the product? If they don't know the cost, how will they decide on the selling price? So simple, if you are working in a manufacturing company, okay, and customer is coming to you and they are asking you, can you tell me what would be the price at which I can buy the bikes that you are manufacturing? So how will you tell them what is the selling price if you don't know what is the cost of that particular product? Let's take my example. I am taking these trainings. I am charging you some fees. If you come to me and ask me what would be the fees if I go for this particular course, if I don't know what is the cost to me, how can I tell you what would be the price that I'm going to charge you? So before we come up with the selling price, we need to know what is the cost price. Okay, and then only we will add our margin and we will tell you that this is going to be the sales price, right? So in case of bike manufacturing company also, if they want to decide what is going to be their sales price, the first thing that they need to know is what is the cost at which we are manufacturing this particular bike. Okay, now how will you calculate the cost? If I ask you simple, what are the different components that you need in order to manufacture the bike? Not only the components, what are the different activities that you need to carry out in order to assemble the bike, right? So if I ask you what is going to be the cost of a particular product, I need at least two things. Number one, I need all the materials which are required in quantity, how much quantity is required, and I need to know what are the activities that I'm going to carry out. So in this example, you can see in order to manufacture a bike, what materials I need. At least I need an engine, I need the body, I need some maybe tires. How many tires? That is also written here, 2 tires. I need a petrol tank, and I need the seats. In this particular example, I only took 5 components, but based on the requirement, based on the product that you are manufacturing in your company, there can be less or more number of components. Okay, so in this particular example, there are 5 components, and these are the quantity for each component. So in SAP system, if you want the system to automatically calculate the cost of product, what you need is, first thing that you need is, you need to know what are the materials which are required and in how much quantity. So this particular thing, the number of materials required along with quantity, this is called as BOM. Okay, BOM is nothing but bill of material. What is bill of material? Bill of material means you are telling the system that if I want to manufacture this bike, I need these raw materials in this much quantity. So combination of material and quantity is nothing but BOM, bill of material. That is normally created in the production module of SAP. Okay, so the first thing that you need is bill of material. Okay, which will tell you which material is required in how much quantity. Now let's say I given you all this material. I given you the engine, I given you the body, tires, petrol tank, and seats. So will it automatically get converted into bike? Definitely not. You need to carry out some activities. And what are those activities that you need to carry out? So first thing, you need to do the assembling. Okay, you definitely need to assemble. You need to assemble all these different parts together to fit it into one component, that is bike. Okay, not only assembling, once the assembling is completed, there might be the quality testing. So after each bike is manufactured, you are going to perform the quality check, whether it is meeting your quality requirements or not. So there is a quality department who is responsible to test the bike, whether it is suitable to be given into the market or not. Okay, and last thing is you also need to do some packing. You cannot just manufacture the bike and directly go onto the road. Definitely you need to do some packing. So maybe in case of bike there will be minimum packing required, but if you consider other products like medicines, like chemicals, so there is a packing also required for those particular products. So in this example I took three different activities that you need to carry out in order to manufacture this bike. Okay, so not only what activities, but you also need to tell the system how many hours are you going to take to assemble a particular product. So one bike will take 1 hour of assembling activity. One bike will take 1 hour of quality testing activity. One bike will take 1 hour for packing related activity. So this information, okay, this information of what activities are required in how much quantity, this is called as routing. Okay, routing means there is a lot of background noise. Anubhav, can you just mute yourself, please? Yeah. So not only we need what raw materials are required in how much quantity, we also need what activities need to be carried out and how many hours of that activity is required. Okay, so what raw material is required, how much quantity, it is bill of material, and which activities needs to be performed for how much time, that is called as routing. So in order to know the price of the product, the minimum two requirements are we should know the BOM and we should know the routing. Okay, and if we know what raw materials are required and what activities needs to be carried out, then it would be easier for us to calculate the product cost, right? So these are the transaction codes which are written, which will help you when you are actually performing this particular setup in the system. So using this CA03, you can go for a particular material and you can check what is the list of materials with how much quantity required. And similarly, if you go to CA03, you'll be able to know which activities needs to be carried out in order to manufacture this particular product. Okay, so now if you take this example, now let's assume that we already know what is the price of the raw material. Okay, although for raw material also we need to perform the product costing. So how will you know the product cost of the engine? This is a cost at which you are buying the material from the vendor. So let's say you already know that engine will cost you 20,000, body will cost you 10,000, tires will cost you 1,500 per tire, petrol tank 4,000, and seats 5,000 each. So based on the rate, we have calculated the value. So total raw material cost is coming to 42,000. Okay, so the total raw material cost that we need is 42,000, and then we need to carry out these activities. Okay, so the total value of the activities is 5,000. So if you calculate what will be the total cost to perform the activities, it is 5,000. And overall, according to this logic, the cost of the product is 47,000, which includes raw material as well as those activities which are carried out in order to assemble, pack, and perform the quality check of this particular product. Now, you can see this total cost is bifurcated into four components. So raw material, assembly, quality, and packing. These are called as cost components of the product. So whenever you manufacture any particular product, your business will tell you what are the different components that they want to see in a particular product. So this is called as cost component structure. Okay, so now let's try to see all these things in the system directly. So let me take you to the system. Okay, so this is SAP S/4HANA 1809 system that I'm using in this particular webinar. So if I go for transaction CK11N, I already written these transactions on the Excel sheet, which I was sharing with you, and I'll make sure that this Excel is also shared after this session. So if you go to transaction CK11N, this is a transaction which will allow you to calculate the cost of product. Okay, here you need to enter the material, finished good. In our case, it is bike, and for which plant you are calculating the cost of the product. Okay, and then you have this costing variant. This is most important configuration when you are calculating the product cost, because when you are calculating the cost of the product, you are not telling the system anything else other than costing variant. This costing variant will determine lot of different values from SAP system. Okay, so I'll show you. So if I press enter, now you can see it is showing me dates. So it is showing me date from today, and it will be applicable for 9999. So it will be infinite. So whatever cost we are doing today, it will remain forever in the system. Okay, if you want to restrict, if you want to tell the system no, whatever costing we are doing, this should be only for this particular year. So you can say this is only valid from 2/11/2019 to 31st December 2019. So you can change it, but this is coming by default. Okay, again, these are also coming from default. If I just press enter, so you can see system is calculating the cost of the product, which is 47,000. Okay, it is clearly showing you in this 47,000, these are the 5 components that we are using. Apart from these 5 components, you can see these are the activities that we are performing in order to assemble or manufacture this particular product. So you can see there is an activity. Activity is denoted by E. Okay, E means the activities that you are carrying out. M means the material that you are using. So we are using 5 materials and we are performing 3 activities. So assembling, then you can see quality, and finally you can see packing. So it is completely giving you the information that what activities are required, what raw materials are required, and what would be the total cost of this particular product. Now if I want to know the cost components, okay, in the Excel I shown you what are the cost components, right? So what are our cost components? So let's say our business has told us that they want to divide this complete cost into raw material cost, assembly, quality, and packing. So based on the business requirements, we can set up the cost component structure. I'll show you how. Okay, and if you click on this button here, this is cost component button. Okay, so you can see it is showing you raw material cost is 42,000, assembly cost is 500, quality is 1500, and packing is 3000. Okay, so this is how you calculate the cost of product in SAP S/4HANA system. So what we discussed till now, let's summarize that before we go to the next topic. We understood that we need the cost of the product so that we can decide what is going to be the selling price of that particular product. Now, in order to determine the cost, if I want to know the cost of my product, I need what are the different raw materials that I need to manufacture this product, how much quantity of raw materials are required. So material along with the quantity is called as bill of material. Okay, we need the bill of material, BOM, which will tell us which materials are required in how much quantity. Okay, same way, we also need to know what are the activities that we need to carry out. Okay, so we need to carry out assembling, we need to carry out the quality, and we need to carry out the packing. Okay, and how many hours or minutes. So that is called as the summation of all that is called as the routing. So there are 2 important things to calculate the cost of the product. First one is BOM and second one is routing. Okay, so if we know this information, then we can easily identify what would be the cost of the product. Okay, but now the question is, from where exactly this raw material value will come? Okay, so this raw material value, where exactly it will come from? I told you there is one very important activity that is nothing but this costing variant. This costing variant decides the price of the raw material, it decides the price of the activities. How? Let me tell you. So if I want to open this cost variant configuration, I can directly go to transaction OKKN. Okay, and in OKKN, what we were using is we were using this costing variant PPC1. If you double click on this PPC1, okay, and if you just go to the valuation variant here, okay, this is where we are told the system how to decide on the price of the raw material. So you can see this is material valuation. So how the price of the material will come? Price of the material will come based on the standard price or moving average price or the price which is mentioned in the purchase info record. I'll tell you what exactly it means. So in this particular case, if I press enter, see, system is automatically able to decide the price of engine, body, everything. So how system is deciding 20,000? So this is coming from one of this sequence. Okay, so system will first go and find out whether there is planned price available for this engine or not. Okay, where exactly the plant price will be checked? It will be checked in the material master. So if I go to material master, that is MM03, okay, and my raw material was engine. Okay, and engine, if I just go to accounting view and costing view, this is a place where you will be able to see different kinds of price which is available for this material. So our plant is MA01. This is a plant that I'm using in this particular example. Okay, so you can see there are different kind of pricings available here and even in the costing. So based on these different prices, we need to tell the system which price to consider whenever we are talking about the standard cost. Okay, so plant price is not available here. So what system will do? System will first check if the plant price is available or not. If system is not able to find out the plant price, it will go and see whether the standard price is available for this material or not. Okay, so let's see if the standard price for this material is available. You can see here standard price is available. Okay, so system will identify that yes, now I found the standard price. So this standard price will be considered to evaluate this particular material. Okay, so this is how system will fetch the information of what is going to be my raw material cost. Number two, so we already know now that how this 20,000, 10,000, 1,500, 4,000 and 5,000 came. Let's see one example. If I go to seats and if I want to know what is the price of seats, so let me enter the material number here, press enter, and I can directly go to accounting one view where I'll be able to see the standard cost for plant MA01. Okay, here you can see the standard price of the seat is 5,000. Okay, and that is the reason if you see this standard cost of material which was calculated by the system, what is the price that system is considering? System is considering 5,000. Why? Because it is mentioned in the standard price. Okay, so this is how system will determine the price of raw materials. Next question is how system will define or how system will determine what is the rate of this particular activity. Okay, so we are just telling the system that in order to manufacture a bike, we need to carry out the assembling for 1 hour. Okay, but there has to be the place where we are telling the system that in order to carry out this activity, the total expense is going to be 500. Okay, in order to carry out the quality activity, we need to incur 3,000. So where is the place where we are going to tell this to the system? Okay, so here also I have written, you will be able to tell using this configuration called as KP26. Okay, so in KP26 transaction code, you can go and you can specify what is the price per hour for this particular activity. So if I go to transaction KP26, okay, and let's say I want to know the assembling price. So I will enter the assembling cost center and the activity. Okay, and then if you just click on this period screen, it will tell you what is the cost. See, this is month. So currently we are performing the valuation for November. Okay, and according to April to March, according to Indian financial year, we are currently in the 8th month. Okay, and for the 8th month, you can see the price per hour. You can see this is price per hour. Price per hour for this particular activity is 500. Okay, let's try this one scenario. I will change this to 1000. Okay, so now my price has been increased. So what will happen? So this price, which was 500 earlier, now this has become 1000. Okay, and now if you try to perform the product costing again, if I go to CK11 and if I just enter my finished product here, right, bike, I want to do this for bike. The material number is this one. If I press enter, earlier price was 47,000. Now it should be, let me perform this calculation also. So this will become 42. This is correct. I think this is manual. So this will become how much? 5,500. Okay, and this will also become 1000, and this will change to 47,500. Right, same thing should happen in the system also. Just press enter, another enter. Okay, and you can see system is now able to determine the price of the product as 47,500 because activity price, which was 500 earlier per hour, has been increased from 500 to 1000. Okay, and here itself you can see activity price of assembling is changed to 1000. Even if you go to the cost components, assembling will clearly tell you that assembling cost is 1000 for this particular product. Okay, so raw material cost will come from the material master. Activity cost will come from transaction KP26. Okay, let me show you this bill of material and routing in the system. So if I go to transaction CS03, it will tell me what are the different components, different raw materials that I need to manufacture this particular product. Okay, so you can see in order to manufacture bike, I need engine, I need body, I need tire, tank, seats, and these are the quantities. So I need 2 tires and I need 1 quantity of each of engine, body, tank, and seats. Right? This is called as BOM. You can see this is display material BOM. This BOM is normally created by the production department. Production department knows what exactly is the material requirement when they are manufacturing anything. Even the activities, because who is going to perform these activities, who is going to do the assembling, quality, packing, again this will be done by the production department. Okay, so if I want to know what are the activities that are required, so if I go to transaction CA03, in transaction CA03 you will be able to know what are the different activities that we are going to perform. So you can see assembling, quality, and packing. Okay, not only that, even you can see here how much time is required. So 1 hour of assembling activity, 1 hour of quality activity, and 1 hour of packing activity. Okay, so again, if I do one thing, if I want to change this routing, okay, so let's go to change routing. And if I tell the system that for quality, I don't need 1 hour, I only need maybe 30 minutes. So I can write 30 here and I will change this unit to minutes. Okay, so now what will happen is whatever was the price for quality, what was the price for quality? Quality price was 3000 per hour, but now we change it to 30 minutes. So this should become 1500. Okay, accordingly this will become 4000, and accordingly this will become 46,000. Okay, why? Because quality is it correct? Yes. Okay, so this will become 46,000. Let's try to execute in the system now. So if I again go to transaction CK11N, okay, press enter, another enter. It is showing 46,750. Maybe I have done something wrong. Just a minute. Packing, I changed the packing or I changed the quality? No, sorry, I was wrong. So I think I changed this one. That is the reason there is a difference of 750. Let's see what we have done. So if I go back to CA03 and see here, what are the different operations required? So I'm saying quality will take 30 minutes. And what is the price of quality? Quality price is, or it was 3000 earlier, or maybe I mixed up here. How can I see the price? I'll go to transaction KP26. Let's go to transaction KP26 and see what is the price for quality activity. So quality. Okay, these are the things, activity types, cost centers that you need to create before you start anything in the product costing. Okay, and if I go for 8th month, yeah, it is 1500. Okay, so I think we were wrong in this particular thing. It is per hour, the cost is 1500. This will remain as it is. We will not touch this. Okay, so it will become 46,750, and that is exactly what is happening when I go for CK11N. Okay, so you can see 46,750 is the cost of the product. So based on what is my raw material cost, how much quantity is required, based on what are the different activities that I need to carry out, what is the cost per hour of this activity, and how much time it is required, system will automatically calculate the cost of the product. Okay, so if you change anything here, if you change the raw material cost, if you change the rate of the activity, or if you change the time, or if you change the quantity of this particular raw material requirement, then automatically it will make the changes in the product cost. Okay, so now we calculated the cost of the product. What should be done next? Now we know that this particular product will be manufactured at 46,750. What is next? What exactly are we going to do of this costing? So this costing we are still not saved. We just created. Let's save them first. So now this cost estimate has been saved. This cost estimate has been saved from 2nd of November to 31st of 9999. So it is unlimited time. So if you save it again, it will not help you anywhere in the system. Okay, because if I go and see in the material master, if I go and see in the material master what is the cost of this particular product. Okay, so if I go to MM03, same way if I go for accounting, let's see what is the cost it is showing. So it is showing as of now 46,251. This is something which we have not done, right? Just now we have calculated the cost of the product as 46,750. Then why it is not updated here? It will not get updated here in the material master till the time there are next two activities that you need to perform. There is something called as marking the price, and there is something called as releasing the price. So as of now, we have just calculated the price. We have just saved the price, but we have still not changed the price in the material master. If you want to change the price in the material master, as I told you, there are two more activities. Number one is mark the price, and second is release the price. Okay, what exactly it means? So you need to go for transaction CK24. Okay, and what you need to do here is for the month 8. Okay, in our case it is 8th month because we are following April to March calendar. For company code, which is our company code? Our company code is MA01. Okay, and you can directly enter the material here. Okay, so which material you want to cost? I want to cost this particular material, finished product, which is bike. So I copied it and I will just paste it here. Okay, what I want to do? I want to do mark. As of now, I am doing mark. You can see this, mark the standard price. Okay, just try to execute. I'm in the test run. Test run means it will just tell me whether it is okay or not, but it will not do anything in the system. So it is saying marking not authorized. So there is an error. How can I solve that error? I will go to this marking allowance and I will allow the marking for the 8th period for my company code, which is MA01. Okay, so if I click on this, this will get turned into green. For costing variant PPC1. This is the costing variant that we used when we calculated the cost of the product. So now you can see it is green. Now if you come back and try to execute once again, see now it is not throwing any error and it is saying one material is costed. Okay, but I am in the test run. So if I want that this material should be costed at this price, you can see what I calculated is future planned price. Okay, current standard price is still 46,251. We want to update this price with 46,750. So that is called as marking and releasing. So first I need to remove the test run and execute. Okay, so now you can see marking part has been done. Okay, so now future planned price is 46,750. But where can I go and see this in the material master? If I go into the material master, in the costing 2 view, you will be able to see that, let me refresh this. So MM03, enter, costing 2 view, enter, and for plant MA01. MA01. Okay, you can see this. Current price is still the older one, 46,251. But because we marked the price, marking the price means what? Marking the price means updating this particular future price. Okay, now system knows that the future price is going to be 46,750, but it is still not updated. If you go to the accounting view, it will still show you the old price because that is a future price that we calculated. It is not a current price. Current price is still the older one. So how can I update the standard price? If I want to update this standard price, same transaction, which is CK24, instead of marking, I need to click on releasing. Okay, now you can see release the standard price. Okay, and you need to execute this. Okay, so what it is saying, there is some error. Period closing has not yet taken place. Okay, why it is showing this error? Because we are still not performed the period end for this particular month. Okay, so what is going to happen? I'm not going into the period end closing because we will divert the topic. But what it will do is, once you execute this releasing part, if you go to the material master after that, you will be able to see that this price is updated with the latest price, that is 46,750. And in the costing 2 view, you will be able to see that there is no future price because future price which was calculated as 46,750 will become your current price. Okay, so your current price will become 46,750. There will not be any future price, and this current price which was there at 46,251, this will become your previous price. Okay, so future price will become current, current will become previous. Okay, this will go away and this will become 0. Okay, so again, just to summarize, first thing, we need to calculate the cost of the product using transaction CK11N. Your costing will only work if your BOM and routings are available and the rates are already fitted into the system. If there are no rates available, let's say for example, you are trying to do the CK11N. Okay, and if there is no rate, system doesn't know what is the cost of the activity assembling. Let me show you. So if I go to KP26, okay, so as of now, quality rate is available for the 8th period. But if I remove this, price, now system, how the system will know that what is the cost of the quality activity? System knows that we need to perform 30 minutes of quality activity, but if there is no rate available, then system will throw error. So if you go to CK11N, okay, and try to execute the cost of the product, okay, it is not accepting it because we already marked this price. Okay, but just for your information, it will throw error. Or maybe let's try to do this for future month. Let's do one thing. If I do CK11N, and instead of 11th month, let me do it for the 12th month. Okay, so let me put this as 12. Let me put this as 12. Press enter. Okay, so you can see this is giving error. This red light means it is throwing error. And if you click on this error, it will clearly tell you that system is not able to determine the price for a particular activity. Okay, so you can see no price could be determined for activity assembling. Similarly, no price is determined for activity packing, and no price could be determined for activity quality. So in short, if these prices are not already available in the system, or if the routing information is not available in the system, or the BOM is not available in the system will not be able to calculate the product cost. Okay, so whatever we have discussed, just understand one thing. This is called as product costing with quantity structure. Okay, quantity structure means we need BOM and routing. Okay, so if you want to do the product costing for the material with quantity structure, you need BOM, you need routing. Not only BOM and routing, you need the cost of each individual material. You also need a cost of each individual activity. Okay, and based on those BOM, routing, and the provided values, system will automatically determine the price of the product. Okay, once the price of the product is determined, it cannot be directly used. Before that price becomes your standard price, you need to perform two more activities. One is marking the price, and second is releasing the price. So when you mark the price, what will happen? If you mark the price, whatever price you calculated, that will become your future price. Okay, so in our case, this 46,750 has become our future price. Okay, and when you release it, when you release this price, what will happen? Whatever is your future price will become your current price, and whatever is your current price currently will become your previous price, and future price again will become zero. So next month you will again carry out the standard cost activity. You will calculate the future price, which can be updated as current, and current can be updated as previous. So this activity of updating the standard price normally is carried out every yearly. Every yearly business, they will carry out this activity of performing the standard costing. Okay, but it is not necessary that it needs to be done every yearly. Let's take an example of a company where the raw material prices are fluctuating on day-to-day basis. So in that case, they can consider to do this activity every monthly also. Okay, but if the prices are same, the activity prices are same, material prices are same throughout the year, then there is no point in doing this activity again and again. So once in a year is a normal cycle that most of the companies follow. Okay, so I hope you understood what is standard costing, what is the purpose of BOM, routing, activity prices, raw material prices in the product costing, what do you mean by marking, and what do you mean by releasing of the standard cost in a product. Okay, so now you are open to ask any questions regarding this particular topic. Do you have any questions? Yes, Anand.
Vikram, just curious to know, if you take a look at the nature of the industries now, repetitive manufacturing or discrete manufacturing, the process kind of change a bit here and there. You know, are you going to be covering these, whatever you showed us now, the industry manufacturing scenario wise?
Yes, see, normally what we do is, see, as you said, there are different kind of industries. So just to give an example, this kind of costing can be done when you are performing the product costing for the industry where you are doing the MTS scenario. So which means you are manufacturing the product and then you are stocking that product, and whenever there is a demand, then you are selling, right? This is called as MTS scenario, make to stock. Okay, but let's say if there is another scenario when you are not manufacturing the bikes in advance, you are only manufacturing the bikes which are completely customizable. So you don't know what is the material requirement, because customer can come and he can tell you that I don't need this color, I need some other color, or I need some other design. Then you cannot have the fixed price. Then the price will depend upon what are the requirements from the customer. So you are actually developing or manufacturing the product based on the requirement of the customer. This is called as MTO scenario, make to order. Okay, so in case of make to order, your product costing will be actually dependent on that particular order. So yes, when we are going for these trainings, we are normally covering MTS as well as MTO as well as product cost by sales order also during the sessions.
Okay. So basically, the MTO, MTS, and also, in most cases, you have repetitive manufacturing. All of them have different sets of configuration in your cost object controlling. Is that right?
Yes, you are right. So totally depends upon which scenario we are talking about. So see, this is common. Whatever we discuss, see, bill of material will be required anyways. Routing will be required anyways. Okay, only thing is whether this has to be in advance or this can be created at the time of creation of order. That is the only different thing. Otherwise, you definitely need BOM, you definitely need routing, you definitely need the activity prices, the raw material prices in any of the cases.
Right. I think probably even the settlement and the whip rules, variance calculations, probably they vary.
They will definitely differ, right? Because see, that is what you are talking about now. That is not product costing. Within product costing, there are two topics. One is product cost planning. So whatever we discussed now, this is called as product cost planning. But what you are talking
Correct.
about, WIP, variance calculation, that is called as cost object controlling. So within cost object controlling, these are the topics: product cost by order, product cost by period, product cost by sales orders. So these are the topics which comes under cost object by controlling. Sorry, cost object controlling.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Vikram. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, if not, what I will do is I will upload this recording. I think most of you joined yesterday's session also, which was on predictive accounting. If not, I will make sure that I will send this recording as well as predictive recording link to you, so that you can go there and you can listen to that particular video. Okay, and you can also always, that is a forum where you can always ask your questions, you can always share your own knowledge. Okay, and we can definitely get benefited out of it.
Vikram, this is Shahid here. Can I ask one last question, please?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So Vikram, so the predictive accounting go hand in hand. Can we start product costing without taking that course class understanding?
You are talking about the course now. Okay, you are not talking about the topic, the course. See, there are two different courses. Okay, number one, there is no separate course for predictive accounting. Predictive accounting is one of the small topic which is part of SAP S/4HANA Finance course. Okay, and product costing is part of SAP S/4HANA Controlling course. So these are two different courses, but just to answer your questions, this can go both hand to hand. It is not necessary that you first learn the SAP S/4HANA Finance and then only you can learn S/4HANA Controlling. You can start both at the same time.
Okay, so and do you mind while you will be sending this recording, the layout of the syllabus that we will be covering alphabetically in sequence? So that will help
Yes, that
us
is
a lot.
already, yes, Chai, that is already available in my website. So I will make sure that whenever I'm replying, maybe I don't know whether all of you are interested for this particular course, because my intention was not to divert you to the course. So I will keep these two things separately. I will send one mail where only this particular recordings and the things will be shared. And second, I'll make sure to you specifically, I'll send you the course details also.
Yes, please, and the duration and the class days, so that will help a lot.
Definitely.
That's it from my side. Thank you.
Okay, so let's close this session and hope you enjoyed this session and got benefited out of it. Thank you. If you have any further questions, as I told you, you can always connect to the forum and you can always share your own knowledge also. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Welcome.